Hello again, it is I, and breaking news. The school year is finally over. Yes, finally, round of applause for me. But I'm gonna be honest, it was absolutely fucking hell. And I will explain why in today's video. And for today's video, it is Ringo Starr from the Beatles because I just love this goober. You can never hate him. Alright, now, on to the video. Before we begin, I just wanna admit that the sprites are gonna look really fucking bad in today's video because for some reason they're not letting me remove backgrounds on the images I put in there for some reason. Like I looked everywhere and I could not find the button to do it. So I'm gonna use CapCut and then an effect in Clipchamp in order to do it. So I apologize again. Let's begin with the context that I am from Texas. And all the way back from August of last year in 2025, when I was going to start ninth grade, which is the year I finished, which I just said, I got news earlier about how there's this new phone law coming in where students can't use their phones for the entire school day. It will be illegal for you to even pull it out. I thought it was a joke at first. Oh boy, was I wrong! I still followed the new law, but I'd be lying if I wasn't pissed off about it. Everyone was angry too. I once saw 8 phones on a teacher's desk. Yes, 8 pure SD phones, because either people didn't read it or they tried to ignore it. If you don't know what the Texas phone law is, if somehow you never heard of it, here's a screenshot of it for you to pause and read. I will leave a link down to the website. Now, I think why they put it in the first place is because of the amount of cyberbullying and that students are not just paying attention to class, which, no, that's not gonna fix anything. Because if students are being cyberbullied, those cyberbullies that are in Texas, or the ones being cyberbullied in Texas, are just gonna wait until school is over, and then they're just gonna continue the onslaught, or continue getting death threats or whatever. And the students that don't pay attention in class, they're not gonna magically become interested in whatever subject they're being taught or being forced down their throats. No, that's not how it works. They're gonna be loud, annoying other students, and doing really bad activities that I'm going to explain later in the video. And a bunch of other stuff. The only thing that it approves is just make the grades go up a little bit and make test scores go up a little bit. And if I know the adults the amount of fucking fossils in our government, they're going to be cheering and drag that only positive thing by its fucking ballsack so the law can stay. But if I'm gonna be honest, the law did kind of break my mental chat addiction. And yes, I see you fuckwads typing in the comments. It is a real addiction that people can get. But that's a story for another video if you want that. But it's not to say that I've had a very good year. Why did I not have a good school year, you may ask? It's because I have been harassed on the last week of school. I have seen terrible shit, and I've heard of terrible shit. And during that school year, they even got the fucking sheriff and a security guard to stand around in the hallways for 2 fucking weeks. Yes, it's that bad. Why is this happening, you may think? Well, in my personal opinion, the phones were not there to distract them. And it's always boys. Dead ass. It is always the males. Now, this might be a bit controversial, but maybe it's the hormones or whatever the fuck they're consuming on the internet. I really don't know. But holy shit. It is that fucking bad. It wasn't the same for my teachers, though. I was blessed to have actual good teachers throughout the school year, though. But their lessons were boring. Like how I had to read the Hunger Games for reading class. It wasn't bad, I'm not saying that at all. But it looks really cool. Its concept and genre, etc., etc. but I'd be lying if it wasn't boring to me because they forced me to read it. I was more of a comic person anyway, but it's like they low-key weren't the reason of why I had a shit year, and I'm gonna explain what I have witnessed throughout the school year myself. Okay, so I might just speedrun these stories that happened throughout the year to get to the big ones later in the year. But to start off, was that one time someone got called out for having STDs in front of the entire cafeteria. For context, I went to use the restroom and I came back to see two girls catfighting. The entire cafeteria was watching because they were in the middle of it. And that's when one of the girls called out the other one for having the disease. Of course, I was shocked and was appalled that that even happened. Alright, next one is the fact that, I don't know the details of it, so I'm just gonna say it. Students got caught having, like, pure S in the bathroom 6 times. I'm not gonna say the full word because I don't know what the rules are on YouTube anymore because life just freaking hates us. But yeah, that apparently happened. I don't know what went through these bitches' brains. They probably got really, really horny and just did it in the bathroom. It's like, why? 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 Why on school premises? Like, bro. Like, no one needs to hear us say that shit. Like, no. And also, like, there's, like, a bunch of other petty dramas that I don't know because no one tells me anything because I guess they just hate me. I really don't fucking know. Okay, so this is the big story. I was given a biology semester final where you have to make a board game on a class topic. I thought it wouldn't be that hard and I would just team up with my homegirl to get it done. No! I was paired with one of the most stupidest boys in the entire class and given the virus topic. I knew I was cooked from the start because I had to come up with, like, rules, okay? And I gave him one job. Can you figure out what that is, dear audience? Writing 25 question cards. Not that hard, right? Because I gave him my journal and he had the option to get a Chromebook if we need to, like, get new like questions or answers or whatever. Wrong! It took this fucking jackass for the entire week to do it. Meanwhile, I did, again, rules and board art, game pieces, coloring, and literally almost everything else because I can't remember. And it took him the entire fucking week because he kept getting distracted and, like, just talking to his friends instead of doing that one fucking job I give him because it's, like, one of the easiest things I can make him do. There are times where I have almost crashed out on him. And when you're, like, packing up for the day or whatever, he just thinks that he did everything himself and I was fucking useless. Call it rage baiting or whatever, but I never felt so pissed off in my life. He thought it was funny to laugh at my suffering. Words cannot express how pissed off I was. And I can't believe that he thought that he did everything, and he will, like, go around and tell his friends thinking that he did everything himself. No, you didn't. No, the fuck you didn't. You didn't do everything. I had to do everything because your lazy ass couldn't do shit. And then, like, once I finally turned it in, I told the teacher before, and he proceeded to, like, fail him. And when I mean fail, I mean, like, fucking bullshit. Just gave him a 91. I'm like, what? Which, I mean, sure, I got a 96, so as long as I, like, higher than him, I don't fucking care. But, so, like I said earlier in the video, on the last week of school, I was getting harassed by this dude. And he got his friends to join along with him. I'm talking about they threw paper balls at me, threw a rock at me, which wasn't very big, probably a bean or whatever, attempted to close my tab window and turn off my computer, and his dumbass friend proceeded to say, hey, he wants to go over to your place, which absolutely disgusted the fuck out of me. And also, they proceeded to, like, take up the mouse of the computer and also the monitor of the computer for some fucking reason and walk around the room with it being jackasses, but put it back. But for context, I was like in business class when it happened. It was like the last period I have of the day. But it wasn't like safe to say, again, like you saw earlier, I reported them to the office and to the substitute that was there at the time. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck goes in their fucking brains, and I try to forget that. There is also like another story where apparently some fucking jackass thought it was okay to stare at me dead in the face and tell me, hey, you know, you look like one of those MHA fans that draws art of Baku Deku and make him pregnant. What the fuck? What the fuck makes you think it was okay to say that? And also, another story that I forgot to say, I'm very sorry about that. I'm sitting, it's like the last day of school, and I'm sitting there in 6th period, which is my geography class, and apparently, we're watching The Day After, which, if you don't know, is a nuclear war movie from 1983. I highly recommend you go check it out. I think it's very interesting. And also check out Threads. Threads is really good too. So there's this one scene where apparently there's the men getting shirtless, maybe doing medical checks or whatever. I wasn't paying that much attention, but I was trying to pay attention to understand it. And one of these fucking retards thinks it was okay to say, oh my gosh, do you like it because they're naked? No, I like it for the bombing scene. Are you fucking retarded? But anyway, yeah, that's my experience. So I guess this is the end of the video. I would, again, apologize for this price looking like absolute shit throughout this entire video. But the movie and formula links will be down in the description if you want to, like, if you're ever, like, curious or whatever. But as a warning, those two movies are not for the weak, especially if you can't handle dead bodies, nuclear warfare, and/or mutations. But in the words of the grandioso Richard Ringo Starr, peace and love. Okay, have a sleepy day or night, and maybe subscribe. I don't know.